Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be super helpful if you're preparing for the IELTS speaking test. I'll walk you through a full band 9 IELTS speaking mock test using real questions from an actual exam that happened in Dubai first week of July 2025. If you're aiming for a high band score, like 7, 8 or even 9, this is a great chance to see how top scorers answer with fluency, accuracy and confidence. So stay tuned, watch till the end, and don't forget to leave a comment with your predicted band score. Let's get started with the real test. My name is David and I'll be your examiner today. This is the speaking test for the International English Language Testing System, taking place on the 5th of July 2025 here in Dubai. The candidate number is 012875 and the center number is NZ002. So to begin, I'm going to ask you a few questions about yourself. This is just the introduction part, all right? First question, what's your full name, please?
Well, my full name is Diane John, but you can just call me Diane.
Okay, Diane. Second question, do you study or work?
I'm currently a full-time student studying business management. I really enjoy the course because it helps me understand how organizations work in the real world. By learning this, I hope to achieve a lot of success in my future.
All right, and what kind of course are you doing at the moment?
As I mentioned, I'm doing a degree in business management. It covers things like marketing, finance, and leadership, which I think are really useful for my future career plans.
Why did you choose this course?
Let me think. One of the main reasons is that I've always been interested in how businesses operate and make decisions. It also offers great career opportunities, and I believe it'll give me the skills I need to succeed in a competitive job market.
Do you find the coursework challenging or enjoyable?
Honestly, it's a bit of both. Some topics can be quite challenging, especially when they involve complex theories. But overall, I find the coursework enjoyable because it keeps me engaged and helps me grow academically.
Okay, let's talk about public transportation. What type of public transport do people use in your country?
In my country, people mainly use buses and trains for daily commuting. In big cities, you'll also find taxis and ride-sharing apps becoming more popular because they're convenient and fast.
Good. Next question, is public transport reliable in your city?
Let me think. For the most part, yes. Public transport in my city is pretty reliable, especially the main bus and train services. They usually run on time, though sometimes there are delays during peak hours or bad weather. Most people use buses every day.
Okay, now we're moving to the second last question in this part. Do you think public transport is affordable in your country?
As a student, I'd say yes. Public transport is quite affordable, especially since we get discounted fares. It really helps me save money and makes it easier to get to university and other places.
Okay, last question in this part. What improvements would you like to see in your public transport system?
To be honest, I think making buses cleaner and more comfortable would really improve the experience. Many buses are overcrowded and not well maintained, which can make commuting uncomfortable, especially on longer journeys.
Thank you. That's the end of the first part of the IELTS speaking test. Now, I'm going to give you a topic, and I'd like you to talk about it for 1 to 2 minutes. Before you start, you'll have 1 minute to think about what you want to say. You can make some notes if you wish, but please don't write anything on the exam paper, all right?
Thank you, I understand.
Okay, here's your topic. Your 1 minute starts now. Describe an important lesson you learned outside of school or work. You should say what the lesson was, when this happened, how you learned it, and explain why this lesson was meaningful to you.
I'd like to talk about an important lesson I learned outside of school, which is the value of patience and persistence. This happened a few years ago when I decided to learn how to play the guitar. At first, I was really excited, but I quickly realized it was much harder than I expected. My fingers would hurt after just a few minutes of practice, and I couldn't even play basic chords smoothly. It was quite frustrating, and I felt like giving up several times. But a close friend, who's an experienced guitarist, encouraged me not to quit. They told me that learning any new skill takes time, and the key is to practice regularly and not get discouraged by slow progress. So I started practicing a little every day, even if it was just 15 or 20 minutes. Over time, I noticed small improvements. I could play a few chords in a row without mistakes, and eventually, I was able to play simple songs. This experience taught me a really important lesson about patience and persistence. I realized that success rarely comes overnight, and it's important to keep working towards a goal, even when it feels hard or progress is slow. More than just learning to play the guitar, this lesson helped me develop a positive attitude towards challenges. Now, whenever I face difficulties, whether in my studies, work, or personal life, I remind myself to stay patient and keep putting in consistent effort. At the end, this lesson has had a lasting impact on me. It not only helped me learn a new skill, but also changed the way I approach problems and setbacks. I believe this mindset will keep helping me throughout my life.
Thank you. Now, in this last part of the test, the discussion part, I'd like to ask you some more questions related to the topic we just talked about. Let's start. How has technology changed the way people learn today?
I think technology has made learning much more accessible and flexible. People can now study online anytime and use interactive tools like videos and apps, which make learning easier and more engaging.
Okay, next question. Do you think online learning can fully replace traditional education?
In my opinion, online learning has many advantages, like flexibility and accessibility, but it can't fully replace traditional education. Face-to-face interaction and hands-on experiences are still important for a well-rounded learning process.
Good. Now, what are the challenges of learning new skills in a digital world?
Let me think. From my perspective, one of the main challenges is the huge amount of information online, which can make it hard to find reliable sources. Also, not everyone has equal access to digital devices or a stable internet connection, so there's a digital divide. Finally, staying motivated and disciplined without direct supervision can be tough for many learners.
Let me ask you the next question. What is the role of parents in teaching children important life lessons?
In my opinion, parents play a really important role in teaching their children life lessons. They're usually the first and most influential teachers, guiding children to develop values like honesty, responsibility, and respect. Through everyday interactions and by setting a good example, parents help shape their children's character and decision-making skills, which are essential for facing challenges later in life.
Okay, here's the next question. Should schools be responsible for teaching moral values, or should this come from home?
I believe both schools and parents share the responsibility of teaching moral values. Parents lay the foundation by instilling basic principles like kindness, honesty, and respect from an early age. However, schools also play a key role, as they provide a social environment where these values can be reinforced through interaction, teamwork, and guidance from teachers. So a combination of both is essential for a child's moral development.
Thank you, Diane. That's the end of the speaking test. It was a pleasure speaking with you. I just want to take a moment to say thank you for the support. Your likes, your comments, and your time mean the world to me. This journey wouldn't be possible without you. Let's keep growing, learning, and good luck with your exam. See you in the next video.